So before we begin, I want to remind you to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you can be made aware every time we put out a new video. And remember to check us out on Instagram, and now you can also find us on Facebook for exclusive content. Let's get to it. Hey everybody, and welcome to another edition of All Things Universal Orlando. Today, we're going to be looking at the top 5 kid-friendly attractions on the studio side. Now, before we even get into this, I want to preface something. I'm kind of basing this on elementary-aged kids, so maybe up to 5th and 6th grade, is what I'm thinking that these are going to be attractions that are going to be very friendly for your kids in that age group. Listen, kids vary as far as levels of intensity and thrill appeal. There's no doubt about that. So this is just one of those kind of generic videos to give you an idea of what I think would be a kid-friendly attraction. I have 2 children. They both grew up going to Universal Studios a lot, and so I'm going to base this based on their perception and what I see, generally speaking, going through the theme park. So let's get to it.
Like 3, 2, 1, here comes number 5!
Kay and Kodo's Twirl and Hurl. It's open to anybody who wants to rise it as far as height requirements. However, if your little one is under 48 inches or 122 centimeters, you're going to have to go on the attraction with them. Listen, I'm going to tell you, this is a simple Dumbo ride. It really is, or like One Fish, Two Fish. But it's funny. Listen to the dialogue as you're going through this in Springfield there. There are some elements to it that I find absolutely hysterical, painfully at times. The first time I went on this attraction, I laughed hysterically. Now, not so much because you know what the jokes are and you can anticipate them. But if you've got a dry sense of humor, kind of like I do, that element of sarcastic appeal is there and you'll like this. If you're a Simpsons fan, you know what I'm talking about with King and Kodos. The ride in and of itself is not thrilling. You just get in this flying saucer and fly around in a circle going up and down. And you control that, so it's fun and enjoyable. And for all of those reasons, King and Kodo's Twirl and Hurl is your 5th kid-friendly attraction on the studio side.
Number 4, boop boop be doop boop.
Number 4 is Woody Woodpecker's Nut House Coaster. Now, when Mia was little, she loved this. She would go on it. It's very short, 30 seconds, and she'd be like, again? And we'd go again. And she'd be, again? And we'd go again. And we'd wind up doing this attraction, 5 or 6 times until you're just like, no, let's go do something else. As far as little kids go and a kiddie coaster, this is great. It really is fun, and I understand why it's short, because any longer and little kids would be like, wow, this is just too much. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they need to make it a 3-minute coaster when little kids are like, oh, please get me off of this thing. I don't know. In any event, if the minimum height requirement is 36 inches or 92 centimeters, and again, if you're under 48 inches or 122 centimeters, you're going to have to go on this. And it's just big enough for adults to ride. And it's fun. It really is fun. It's not too thrilling. It's not too fast. It's perfect for your kids who are anywhere from 2 to 3 years old and up. It's a fun thing to do, and you should experience it. Occasionally, Carla and I will go on, even if there's no kids with us, just to kind of say we've done it. Not to mention that our kids would make fun of us because they're both, one's in their 20s and one's 16, so there's that. For all those reasons, Woody Woodpecker Nut House Coaster comes in at number 4.
Tree and a hop. Wait, tree or tree and a hop?
Number 3 is an attraction near and dear to all of you, E.T. Adventure. Not my favorite. I like it, but I'd like to see it go, frankly. I'd like to see it rethemed. Like I've said a million times, or a handful of times rather, I'd really like to see all of Kidzone become Bikini Bottom. That was a video I put out years ago that I really would like to see happen, and I think this attraction could be transformed into SpongeBob riding in the Krusty Krab mobile all through Bikini Bottom. I think it could be a tremendous, tremendous attraction. But I don't see it going anywhere because it's still really, really popular. Minimum height requirement is 34 inches or 86 centimeters. And again, if you're under 48 inches or 122 centimeters, it requires adult supervision. This is a fun ride for kids. It's a fun ride for adults. It's nostalgic, and if you're a fan of E.T., you're going to love it. All elements are pretty good. I mean, even when you're going through the forest. I mean, the animatronics to me are really substandard and need to be updated if you're going to keep this attraction. Really bad. It could use a new recording. All of that could be redone. But once you get into E.T.'s or onto E.T.'s planet, don't change anything. It's really, really cool. It's colorful. It's fun. The music is great. It's festive. There's E.T.'s and whatever running around all over the place. It's really a really nice attraction and super kid friendly. And at the end, you can give them a name and have E.T. say goodbye to your little one. or whatever name you decide to tell them. For all of those reasons, E.T. Adventure comes in at number 3.
Number 2.
Number 2 is very likely my favorite attraction there at Studios. For sure at Studios. But I don't know if it's number 1 anymore, but it's certainly the one attraction that my family does more than any other attraction every time we go. Of course, I'm talking about Men in Black Alien Attack. For some little kids, this might be a little bit intense. It might be a little bit scary if you're really little, but I don't know. You can gauge that as parents, but I don't think so. My kids both went on it when they were little, and they loved it. And like I said, it's still among our favorite attractions that we always go on multiple times. Minimum height requirement of 42 inches or 107 centimeters. And again, under 48 inches, 122 centimeters is going to require adult supervision. There's nothing like this. It's so much better than Buzz Lightyear Ranger's space spin thing when you're just shooting targets. You go through this attraction, you are shooting aliens. They're lifelike, they're real, it's challenging, it's fun. And man, if sometimes if you get on a cart with a really good gun, you can really score high. My son Ryan has maxed the game out. Generally, Carla and I score in that anywhere from 4 to 6 to 700,000 range. Mia sometimes does that well. Sometimes, in fact, this past time, Mia did really well. It's just fun to challenge yourself to go on. Pro tip, shoot the aliens in the window, shoot the eyes in the tree, shoot the eyes on the wall behind the cart that you're trying to shoot. All of those things. Shoot the meter, the parking meter there towards the end. Shoot Frank the Pug next to Steven Spielberg. Those are all big point venues. And keep the trigger down. Shoot. You'll score well, but you're going to have a great time no matter how you score. For all of those reasons, Men in Black Alien Attack comes in at number 2. I have one honorable mention, and that's the Hogwarts Express. I think the Hogwarts Express is a really good attraction. The reason it doesn't make the top 5 is because you have to have a park-to-park ticket to get on this attraction. And I don't want to just assume that you're going to have that. So if you have it, by all means, take it both ways. You won't regret it. It's a wonderful attraction. Your kids are going to love it. It's just like being on the Hogwarts Express right out of the movies in any of the Harry Potter movies. So you're not going to want to miss that. Now, before we get to the number 1, I'm going to recount the top 5 for you. Number 5 is King and Kodo's Twirl and Hurl. Right there in Springfield. Tremendously fun. Tremendously funny. Don't miss it. Number 4, Woody Woodpecker Nut House Coaster. Kiddie coaster. Kiddies are going to love it. Adults are going to love it too. Number 3, E.T. Adventure, a classic opening day attraction that I don't think is going anywhere. And number 2, Men in Black Alien Attack for all the reasons I just told you. So here it is.
Hey everybody, it's me, Labby the Cabbie, and here comes number 1.
The number 1 attraction that is kid-friendly, it's got to be Minion Mayhem, right? I mean, listen, I don't really care for this attraction, and since they've taken the 3D away, I'm not even interested in going on it. I think it was much better with the 3D, but I never really struggled with motion sickness, and I know that some people did. In any event, who doesn't like Minions and Gru and the girls? I mean, this is just a tremendously fun, tremendously popular attraction. Kids love it. Always a long wait, even since they've gotten rid of the 3D, although it has gotten not as long, but it's still really great attraction. Still long waits. You're not going to want to miss this. Right there as soon as you enter Studios, right there on the left side, Minion Mayhem. Man, just go do it. It's fun. I mean, it's just fun. The girls want to give Gru a birthday present, and everything goes wrong. You become a minion. I don't want to ruin it for you if you've never been on it, but you become a minion. So this is going to be awesome for you. And for all of those reasons, Minion Mayhem comes in as the top kid-friendly attraction on the Studio side of things. So guys, as always, I want to remind you to like and subscribe and to hit the bell icon so you can be made aware every time we put out a new video. And pay this forward. Go bless somebody else today. Go do something amazing for someone else. Don't expect anything in return and watch what happens in your life. We'll see ya.